what advice would you give to companies battling to retain staff?
Well, you got to first ask yourself why you're battling to retain staff. Quite often, companies battle to retain the good staff and they keep the bad staff. I would say make sure that everyone in your team is as dynamic as you need them to be to grow the business. Because if you're going to have people that's talented and hardworking, and they're really just going to be amongst lazy, ineffective people, you are going to lose them. So you do the staff turnaround and make sure you got the best players in the team, because everyone wants to be part of the winning team. It's unlikely that you're going to lose staff if you've got a winning team.
Start with your core. So, Edgar Schein, I think, is the guy who wrote a book about the core of a business, right? And the core of the business generally defines how well you can attract people and the kind of people you attract. And a lot of organizations don't realize that their core is defined in a particular way, and therefore people don't identify with that core. When I was at Nedbank, I didn't identify with the core of the business, and I didn't see myself growing in that organization. They would never be able to retain me. So as an entrepreneur, as a business, if you analyze your core and you're clear about what it represents, you'll start to understand why people are leaving.
There's always got to be a reason why a company is battling to retain staff. So one needs to try and understand the fundamentals of why that is, and then deal with those issues. And it could be a multitude of reasons. It could be salary, it could be personality types, it could be working conditions. But it's really important to understand why you are having the problem, and then deal with those issues.
Yeah, I think making sure you know people and that you kind of create a culture where people can talk to each other so you know what's going on, I think is probably the best way to kind of retain people. I mean, of course you can do retention things and all these other things. I think my belief is that people want to be part of something greater than themselves. If you can give them an objective that makes sense and adds value to people's lives and kind of make sure they're on board to achieve that, I think you get people kind of motivated and engaged, and you have to use less of those kind of financial retention rewards or things like that. So
I think especially in today's landscape, to retain talent, not just from people moving to other companies, but to keep them from starting their own thing, you have to be providing a massive progressional landscape. If people feel like, wow, I'm learning something new and I love the people I work with, and yes, we work hard, and then I don't think they're going to just be looking solely at the money. And I can't stress that enough, because that's the business I'm in. And I see that every day, that people will stay for, sometimes they'll stay for the craziest thing that you never knew. That one person who just makes their life so much better that they'll stay for, or that one thing that you do as a company, they're like, but I have that and I don't want to lose that.